Hola! Hi guys, we're going to try something else. I want to talk about eSports, and this is just basically a story about how it all started for me. Most people, we talk about how your life is meant to be, your dreams and your destiny and all that stuff. People have dreams, people have fulfilled the dreams they wanted. There are people who wanted to grow up and be mothers to 5 kids and be a stay-at-home mom and be able to feed their kids, and that's all they want in life, and they've been able to do it, right? There are people who want the same but have not been able to maintain it. Dreams are different. Dreams are always based on how you see your future, and to a naive I'd say 16-year-old, at 16 I didn't know what I'm not even 16. I think even in my early 20s I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I was going to do something to do with computers because I loved computers, and there was no way I was going to do something I do not like. I was very adamant when I was a kid. I will not do a job I do not like. I think it's more because I watched Liar Liar, or one of those movies on TV at that point in time, and they were showing how being a grown-up and then having a job you hate but you have to do it because you have to do it for the money. Sorry, I don't want to be on a tangent. This is just the introduction. So this is the story of it. This is how it all happened, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's just get right into it. When you're growing up, everyone has dreams, right? We all have dreams. My mom's dream was, to be someone different. I'm pretty sure. My mom has lived a life. My dad's dream for me were also different, right? So my mom told me she thought I would be the first person to get married and have kids. She was so worried about me because she thought I'd be married young because I get pregnant young. It's hilarious. I don't know about my dad's dream about me, but I know he used to say I was the smartest. So he had big dreams for me. I know. I'm pretty sure I disappointed him really early, but I guess towards his end, he was a little bit more proud of me, so that was a good thing. At least I was doing something, right? My own dreams for myself are very different. My thoughts were, if everything was going to go right, I would finish school. I would get into uni, I would get a job immediately, and I'd be working. I'd either be doing something. If my dreams as a child were real, I'd either be an astronomer somewhere or a weird astrologer somewhere writing predictions and doing tarot readings or something. But life is life, man. I tell people, you live life doesn't leave you, fact is, life is different, life is funny, life is hilarious, because never in a million years did I think I would find myself working in events, working with people. Let me just be very direct. Working with people. I love machines. I love computers. So at least by the time I was done with my first round in uni, like my first round of so many, I knew I was going to end up working somewhere in the back end, a server room maybe. Maybe I would end up doing data entry for life, or maybe being a database management somewhere, someplace. That was how I envisioned my life being, because I loved machines. I don't like people. I don't like working with people. So ending up in events is one of those, I don't know if I say it's funny comedies of life, but yeah, that's what I do. And not the most funniest, it's more like, I hope you're sensing the sarcasm in my tone, okay? I don't want to say, not the oxymoron or the compelling factor of it is, I do events in eSports in Kenya, Nairobi. So we talk tough market, let's talk about non-existent industry. Everything is being built on your back, or it's just you grind until you get yourself somewhere. And I think I'm somewhere right now. 11 years and I finally feel like I'm somewhere. Esports in Kenya is quite interesting. The past few years, it's now become a buzz, right? I've been seeing articles, more so maybe because of my algorithm and the things that I follow and the things that I do. But I have been seeing a lot more articles on people I know, people I have seen growing up, and I have not seen their journey, of course, but I've seen where they started from. Like Sylvia Gadoni, the Queen Arrow. I don't even know how to explain this girl to you. She's amazing. I live vicariously through her. She's the shyest person I have ever met, but she's very assertive and she knows what she wants, and I just love how she's living her life. I am proud of her. I feel pseudo like a big sister who's just patting her in the back and telling her, just keep doing what you're doing. It's great to watch her. And then there's this guy called Brian Young. He's called a Beast. He's huge in the fighting game scene. Love this guy. I've known him for I think at least 7 years now. Not personally, of course. I have known of him. He was there at one of the events I was part of hosting back in 2019. It was called an Icon Asylum, and it was at the Nairobi Hospital, the new building, the new hall. Let's just say we had the hall at the top. It was one of those interesting big events. I was part of making it, right? I was part of the team. I was behind it. I was running the gaming department at that point in time, and it was also the biggest professional character development I've pigwa in my life. So yeah, esports has grown. That is back in 2019, and I remember I found out about esports as a genre or a category in our economical business side. I knew about gaming. I didn't know there were tournaments and huge events in arenas like MLG. That was back in, I'd say 2009, somewhere. Unless I have that wrong and it's 2006. I don't remember. It's a while back. So I was in uni, and it was I think it was the first time I felt like I just want to take a break from school. I was dumb. Back then I didn't understand about deferring classes, but I knew I could take like a month off and come back into whatever. So I remember, I think it is 2008, 2009, because Facebook was already a thing then, and someone posted a job announcement for a personal assistant. The work was somewhere close to where I was leaving my hostel, and they were paying like good money. I'd never seen that amount of money in my life, but I still have a weird relationship with money. So I think I was being paid around like 10k. Was it 7 to start, and then it got to 10k? But anyway, I was getting paid something, and at that point in time I was bored. I was trying to get something to do, so I went for the interview. I think I was the only one who showed up, and that's when I met my two, I don't know how to even describe this two guys to you. So one was a mentor, and another one was like a great friend, still is a great friend, and the other guy is still a mentor. So I met Nathan Masuko. If you're in the esports scene in Kenya and in Nairobi, everyone knows of Nathan Masuko. And then Mark Wangai was his partner and lawyer. He was still studying a law at that point in time, Nairobi Uni. And I think Nathan Masuko had just come back from SA. He'd done some huge gamifying course, and he was part of a game development company somewhere in SA, and he'd just come back and was like, I'm going to do my own thing. He started out of some office spaces that his parents were renting in their compound. So he had one room. So I think him and his brother were more like sharing rent or something, but the brother was either somewhere or was going somewhere or was coming back from Australia. I don't remember. It's just a weird time in my life, but the most exciting time in my life. So yeah, he took me in as a PA. Then I got introduced into the Nairobi gaming scene, video gaming scene, mostly PC gaming, because it was a lot of LAN events. You guys remember iHub, right? iHub was at Bishop Magua Center at that point in time, just on Gong Road, right opposite Uchumi, and we would host overnight LAN Saturday, Sunday, and I flourished. I loved it. But just like startups everywhere, it came to an end, and I went back to school. I mean, I was going in and out of school because it was like a setup. I was just hanging in limbo, but we did a lot of things. We got to a point where we were actually doing gamifying apps. Yeah, I got my first laptop through that because there was a point in time he couldn't pay me, so as the job ended, he'd give me my first gaming laptop. Well, it wasn't a gaming laptop, it was a good high-end laptop which I used for gaming, and at that point in time I was obsessed with The Sims. So yes, I was going to play The Sims. I made my very first gaming crew. I didn't even know it was a gaming crew at that point in time. We were just a cool group of friends who used to game everywhere. Like, we'd just go everywhere, each other's houses, and spend hours and days and weeks just gaming and sharing stuff and connecting and creating attachments. It was the most amazing time in my life and the most promiscuous time in my life. Yeah, I created great friendships. Now I understand the value of friendship because of that entire time. And then I went back to school. I went back to I have a dream, right? I have done that. It was fun. I worked. I was a personal assistant, so I have some experience, right? And then I came back to school, work is over, and it's more like, shit, I don't like what I'm doing. I hate school, but I have to do school. So in between that, I think it took me a while because I joined JQuid in May 2007. I left that school in 2013. Did I graduate? I didn't get to do my final exam. That was the only reason why I didn't graduate. Long story from another day. So yeah, after that entire thing, I was in and out getting jobs, doing here different stuff here and there. And then once 2013 was over, I got a job as a graphic designer. I think I really freelanced as a graphic designer, but at around that time, self-taught again. I didn't go to school. Doesn't mean I learned anything. I'm still learning stuff right now. I'm still learning new things about Adobe. So, but I worked as a graphic designer for a good while. Personally, doing my own things, and then working for one of these Indian guys in industrial areas. Typical Kenyan Indian. He had a big factory. His factory was doing well, but when I was joining him, he was just on the brink of bankruptcy. So he had nothing, but he was going to pay me. So I worked for I think 6 months. He didn't pay me for 3, so I left. And then my depression age up happened. I keep talking about this all the time. And then gaming came back into my life. It's hilarious. It just came back. It literally just crept back really slowly. It didn't rush me into it. It was like it was courting me very slowly, very intentionally. Because I remember right after working for Next Gen and doing all that, and then doing the graphic design with the Indian guy, and then doing my depressive stage, I went back to school. Around 2016, I wanted to go back to school, so I went and I signed up for psychology. At that point in time, I was going through a lot of changes and a lot of things were happening around me. And then a friend of mine hit me up and was like, "Oh, there's this guy's they're looking for someone to run their gaming stuff. They want to do gaming tournaments and stuff, and you've had experience, right? So I recommend you to come and we can work together and do this." And so I did. I joined this guys, and it was really fun at first, right? It was just 2 guys who had come together. One guy was huge in the nerd community. He was like a pillar to a lot of people, and he was such a great guy. And then the other guy was more like the business side, the guy who brings in the money. They had ideas, they wanted to do a lot of things, but at that point in time there was something that was pretty much the same, similar. Now, I'm going to place a disclaimer here. This is all my opinion. Let me just put it out there and be clear. If you know me and you know what I do and where I work, that is 2 of the major pop culture event spaces. There's Nikon and there's Movie Jabber, right? And Nikon has Pro Series Gaming, which is their gaming side, and now Movie Jabber has Arcade Hero in the gaming side. So I was working with Nikon, and I was part of the first pilot program for the PSG, and then I now work with Movie Jabber and I do Arcade Hero. So I've worked for both. I'm working not for, let me be honest. I've worked for one and I work with the other. Makes sense. I hope so. So yeah, I joined Nikon in 2016, 2018, I think. 2017, 2018. Somewhere there. I can't really remember what year it was, but I think I was part of the very first event I was part of in any form. I think I was there as a guest, but I just wanted to see how things were. I was the first one at Sarit Center. It was like 2016, 2017, 2018. I don't know. The years are different. The years are just off, but I was at the Sarit one. I think I have a photo of it on my Facebook with Mark, and I think someone else was a friend there. I can't remember who it was. So I started working with them with the gaming side, and mostly I was just working with Nikon before Pro Series Gaming became a thing. I was working with Nikon itself, and I think we wanted it to be like, that's the word, Nairobi Comic Con. We wanted it to be associated with everything that's pop culture and nerd related, right? I worked with them for a while. We did events. The biggest, and I think the last one I ever did with them was the Asylum, Nikon Asylum 2019, where there was a huge event, and that's where I met Beast. Full circle, right? And then I left. Things were not going the way I wanted them to go. Let's just say it was like wrong timing for me, because I was growing, but they were not at that. And I felt like that pace was kind of slow or something like that. Something similar to that somewhere. I went back to school. I got busy. And then I think it was around 2019 when the same friend, I think I owe my life to this guy. I owe my life to Paul, to be honest. He reached out and he was like, "Hey, do you remember Movie Jabber?" I was like, "Yeah." So they're organizing, they want someone to help them market a mobile phone, a smartphone model from Oppo, and they want to organize a gaming event around it because the phone was supposed to be marketing those particular aspects of the phone. And I was like, hell yes, I haven't done it in a while, but I would love to do it. And this time I'm doing it alone, so I have more say, I have more control, and I have control issues. So I was like, hell yes, I want something like this. So I partnered with them, and I was like, I want this amount. And we did this small thing at the Oppo office. It was one of the most anxious moments in my life, because that's when I first felt the burden of being responsible for your own shit, right? And then I think that's when it kind of triggered me into doing my own thing. It was a fun little event. We installed, that's when I got introduced to Call of Duty. So it's like serendipitous in its own way. We did this teeny tiny tournament. One guy won the phone. I envied him for years. I looked for that phone after that and he couldn't find it. That also led up into a whole different thing in my own personal relationship, all that. So I remember leaving that event, and then I just remember shouting it into the universe, just blindly. I was just like, to anyone, anything, the powers, whoever it is, be God, just to the power of life itself. If you give me a second opportunity, a second chance to do gaming again, I will dedicate my entire life and my entire purpose into esports. However it comes, whatever I find at the end of this entire journey, I will literally just one more chance, one more sign. I get that one more chance, and that's a sign for me to continue. And I just went back to my life. I leave the most, let's just say, a lot of things happened. And then when that was not over, I think in that period and all that stuff, the second opportunity came in. Movijaba reached out to April 2020, the year after, and this time they approached me because they had this event that they wanted to do with Lucozade. So Lucozade was looking into rebranding and marketing themselves as energy drinks, because see, in Kenya, I don't know about the rest of the world, but Lucozade and Ribena were known as drinks or treats or dawa, like you take them to people who are sick. So they were thought of like medicine or something medicinal, right? But now they were trying to rebrand themselves. Whoever brought it to us had a kid who was playing Fortnite, and it was like during COVID period, and she was like, I see my kid playing this game and I want, because we're also targeting kids, right? So she was like, how do we do that? And so we had the very first Lucozade Final 11 Fortnite tournament, which was, I think, one of the biggest event I have ever hosted by myself. Not by myself, like all by myself, more like I've been in charge of it, and this guys gave me free reign to do whatever I wanted. And I mean, I of course I didn't do everything I wanted for that event, but it felt great to be, part of a decision-making crew and having your ideas being taken in. And then all the ideas I had in my head were like, oh, now they have a place to go, right? So yeah. And after that, it just became a thing. And nowadays I just work with them. It's grown. It's not just a Movijaba on its own. It now has like an entire gaming department with other people working with us. It's just like 4 people doing the whole work. And it's a small industry. It's a unique industry, I'd say. Not like it's unique, it is events, but it's more like, because it's a niche type of crowd and a niche type of community, it's very tight knit. It's interesting. So I keep saying interesting like it's going to change the meaning of it, but I mean, I hope you get it. I enjoy what I do, and that's the one thing I think, after working for 9 to 5 for other people and making them money, just working for yourself, no matter how hard you grind. I'm not gonna pretend like this is like crypto and I'm making a shit ton of money. I'm not. I don't even think I can say I've earned a 6-figure yet in total with what I've done. Maybe close, but not completely. It's very tough. It's very different, especially for the economical environment we're in right now and all the opportunities I can literally smell. Because, like I said, I've been in this for, I would say, more than 11 years. Yes, I have seen it at its, I don't even want to say it's a conception age. I would literally say I saw it from its foreplay stage, right before it was even formed to be what it is. And now that it is already formed, it's just taking the form that I'm hoping it takes the right form, because we know how Africa is with niche industries and such. Unafinywa kufinywa, because there are people who have found ways to get their hands and dip their hands into small pockets like this just to get money. We have met them. I have met them. My friends have met them. Some new players now have met them. It's very different, and it's weird when you're involved, you see it on TV, Kinasuju Sarafina and whatnot. Then when you're involved and you're thinking about a revolution or activism so that, only the pure version of a system is adopted. And this is me just tangentially going on a tangent, segueing into something else. Yeah, you find those people, and when you find them and you're trying to create something, esports events are very reliant on the platforms you create and the community you have. In Africa, it's not about just, it's video games, everyone is going to show up, they know what video games is. No, video games is also very, very, I'd say, not unique. It's not unique. People game nowadays. People have PS4s and PS5s. But when you understand video gaming and the esports industry and how it's growing very slowly in Kenya, you have to be very aware of how wide and how scattered and how diverse the community is. And in order to cater for everyone, you need to be aware of all those teeny tiny things. And the people who have dipped their hands into the pots of gold without even working for it are practically stealing it away from the people who are working hard to build it. I mean, some activism is in order, but it's not going to come from me. I'm not going to do anything physical. I'll be an activist behind my microphone, I think. I mean, it's a coward's gameplay, I know that, but it's easy mode for me. I don't want to go on hard. I don't want to play a game on hard anymore. Actually, I'd say this is average, normal, so I can only do so much, and I'm not supposed to do everything, so I can do my part, and my part is just finding a way to combine digital marketing, my psychology, and esports. I have found my way. I'm finding my way. I have found things that I want to do and things that can earn me extra cash so I can be able to afford better equipment and resources to do what I wanted to do as a hardcore gamer. I want to end up doing live streams. You know that? I don't want to do games. I don't want to game all day. I want to game on my phone. I want to game on my laptop. I want to game on my TV. I want to game on my PC. When I can afford each of those items and then be able to create content around it and earn my living from that. That's just all I want in my life right now. Yeah, and also feed my cat. Basically, I want my cat to be able to eat Bounty or Whiskas, not just my omena and the food I make. It's not much, is it? It's not really much. I mean, I wish I could go on. I have so much on to talk about when it comes to what I do, what I love, and gaming. And I am really, really proud of you if you got this far. I want to talk more about this, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not even gonna keep you here long. I'll see you again when I see you again, and always remember to be perfectly imperfect. Always, you're good as you are, and let nobody tell you you're different. Okay, until next time, bye.